I had a plan, I executed it, but it didn't quite turn out the way that I'd hoped. Hi, my name is Sarah, and I make videos about sewing, knitting, and learning to curate a handmade wardrobe. I'm catching up today on a few summer makes. One is a very long overdue refashion, another is a crochet gift, and then at the end I'm going to talk to you about my coordinating set that didn't quite work out the way that I thought it would. So let's start out talking about my refashion. This is Simplicity 9146, which is an out-of-print pattern now. I made this a few years ago and it was part of a matching set with a button-up short sleeve shirt. And to be honest, it just looked so much like pajamas that I eventually just turned it into pajamas because I didn't really feel comfortable wearing it outside of the house. But it is made out of a nice cotton poplin, so it makes a good sleep set. Now, unfortunately for me, I am a very hot sleeper. I have kind of weird particulars about my sleeping habits. I like to have my shoulders covered, so I won't wear like a sleeveless strappy nightgown or cami to sleep in. I have to have a short sleeve. I can't have a long sleeve because I'm a hot sleeper. And then on the bottom, I only like to wear shorts. So these were pants, and in the winter time, I could kind of get away with it. But now that it's summer, it's just way, way, way too hot for me to wear these as pants if they're going to be pajamas. So I finally took the plunge and I went ahead and cut off the legs and made them into shorts. However, I did it very inexpertly. If you guys have any tips for how to take long pants and cut them into shorts and make sure that the legs are actually the same and that they're even all the way around, please let me know because whatever I did was not the right thing to do. I tried to make these a 4-inch inseam and I used another pattern that I had as a guide, but the legs ended up being slightly different from one another, and then I tried to fix it in the hemming stage, so I kind of made the hem a little bit shallower on one of the legs in order to give myself a little bit more length so it would look more even. But I think you can see in the finished picture that it's still not quite right. And because they are pajamas, I don't really care enough to go back and fix them. But if you do have any tips for me for how to make cutoffs more accurate, I would really appreciate it to have that knowledge for next time. So these are definitely not perfect, but they are shorts now, and so I can wear them in my summer pajama rotation and not feel extremely hot. So that was a relatively simple change to make, and I really had just been putting it off for a long time because I knew that getting the legs even was probably going to be an issue, and it was. But now it's done, and I'm happy to have these finished because I was initially thinking like, oh no, I don't have enough pajamas for the summer, I need to make another set, but I really didn't. I just needed to fix these, and now I'm all set for the summer. Next, I have this crochet bag that is going to be a gift for my niece. So I was just kind of itching to do a little bit of summer yarn work. I've been looking at summer tops and just trying to use up yarn that's in my stash. And I had a couple of cones of kitchen cotton left over from ages ago when I made a bunch of dishcloths. And I thought I would use it to make a beach bag for my niece because she's coming with us when we're going on vacation later in July. And I thought this would be a nice gift to give her. She likes purple. So I found this tutorial online. I think the creator is That Crochet Guy. The link will be down in the description box. And he has a YouTube tutorial that is free to make a bag like this. And he also has a paid pattern, which is $10. Because I was feeling cheap, I didn't really want to pay the $10, so I did just watch the tutorial. Video tutorials are not my favorite, especially for something like crochet or knitting, because it's just so slow. I don't like sitting there watching somebody crochet an entire row. Like, it's just kind of painful for me to do that. But I muddled through it. This bag is really kind of only inspired by the tutorial because I made a significant number of changes. I used a different yarn at a different gauge. I did my own stitch count. I put it together slightly differently because I was worried about running out of yarn. And so you're supposed to add a reinforced bottom panel here, which I did do, but it's actually on the inside instead of the outside because, long story short, I wanted to make sure that I did the handles first to make sure that I had enough yarn. And then if I had any leftover, I would go back at the end and add the reinforcement panel. And then I just sewed it onto the inside of the bag. I don't know if I can get this turned inside out to even show you. But at the bottom base of the bag, it just has an extra single crochet panel that I then seamed to the bottom to add a little bit more stability. It's still a very like saggy bag, which you would expect with this type of material, but I think it's going to work really great for a beach bag. It definitely turned out a little bit bigger than I was expecting, but I think it's going to be absolutely perfect for my niece. She's a lot taller than me. She's probably about a foot taller than me at this point. So it should look a little bit more proportionate on her, and it'll hold certainly a bunch of things that you can bring to the beach, sunscreen, towel, all that kind of thing. So I think it's gonna be wonderful, and I hope she really likes it. And I'm also really excited to go on vacation in just a few more weeks. Before we go any further, I'll just share with you what I am wearing. Today I have on my Pattern Emporium Meet You There dress that I made a few years ago out of this really fun rayon that I got from Blackbird Fabrics. I really love this dress. It's very, very comfortable on super hot days. I added little ties in the back so that I can cinch it in at the waist, or I can leave it really loose if it's super, super hot and I don't want anything touching me. I'm also using my secondhand Loewe Luna bag, and I'm wearing these secondhand Birkenstock sandals that I just got. So moving on to the matching set that wasn't. If you guys have been here for a while, then you will know that I was gifted this fabric by Minerva. It's a lightweight cotton canvas in a beautiful hot pink shade. I had requested 2 meters of it, and my original plan was to make a pair of barrel leg pants. However, I got as far as making a muslin and realized that I had printed out and cut out the wrong size. It was too big for me, so I was gonna have to go back to the drawing board. And in the meantime, I realized that I actually need more shorts rather than pants this summer, and I made a whole video about that, so I will link it up in the cards in case you want to go check that one out. But because I needed shorts more than I needed pants, I decided to make these instead, and because I had extra leftover fabric since I'd had 2 meters and this only took about 1, so I decided to use the leftovers to make a matching vest, and then theoretically I would have this cute matching set. So starting off with the bottoms, these are the Anna Allen Persephone shorts. After my debacle with the muslin and having it not work for the pants, I just wanted to go back to a pattern that I've used before, and at this point I would say that the Persephone is a tried and true pattern for me. I just made a pair of these not that long ago, a few months ago, out of a leopard denim, and there were just a couple of tweaks that I wanted to make to the pattern. So this is the size 4. I had made some modifications to add a curved waistband instead of the straight one. On these shorts, I always change up the pockets. Anna Allen has an add-on for patch pockets for the front and the back, and I always put the patch pockets on the front because the original pattern has like set-in pockets into the waistband, and they're really, really hard to actually access, and they're kind of pointless, and the pocket bags get in the way on the front of your leg. I do not like that particular style at all, and so I never ever use the original pockets. This time around, for additional changes, I lowered the front rise by 1 inch because on my leopard pair, I was getting a little bit of extra fabric on the front crotch. So I just took 1 inch off of the top here where the waistband goes. And then the other change that I made was I needed a little bit more room on the front of my thighs. So I slashed up the front of the leg and then spread it just 3/8 of an inch over the broadest part of my quad just to give myself a little bit more room to sit down. And I found that that worked really well, and they're much more comfortable now. This pair is definitely more comfortable than my leopard pair that I made previously, so I would say those changes were a success. Now, it's not all hearts and flowers, there's always something. So on this pair, I'm not sure what happened. I think I might have accidentally stretched out the fabric a little bit when I was putting on the waistband, because I found that there's a little bit of gapping on the back here that I don't feel like was there before. I could be wrong. I'd have to go back and try on the leopard ones to see. But I definitely found that the back waistband gapes a little bit, and it also kind of wants to sag, like there's a little bit too much vertical space in the back. So this pair isn't 100% perfect, but it's pretty close, and I wore them yesterday and they are very comfortable. I wore them with a simple white tank top, and then because it was chilly in the morning, I had on my denim jacket, and I really like these. I love the color. It's just so punchy and bright, and I'm very happy to have another pair of shorts in my wardrobe. Now moving on to this vest, this is another tried and true pattern. This is the Butterick 6901 vest. This is my 3rd version of this vest, and I tried a little bit of pattern hacking, which did not work out the way that I had hoped, and that's why I don't really like pattern hacking, because it takes a couple of tries usually to get it just right, and unfortunately on this one, it wasn't quite what I had envisioned. Now I have made several fit modifications on this vest to get it to fit me. I think the original base size was like a 6 at the top in the chest, and then grading out to an 8 at the waist. I left off the back ties because I found that on the version that I made with the ties, it just feels bulky and gets in the way, and they're not really necessary, so I just left them off. This vest has faux welt pockets, and for the lining, I found a leftover scrap of some cotton sateen that I used to make my trench coat that I thought would be really fun and also very comfortable since it's all 100% cotton, so very breathable. So I use that for the lining, and even though the pattern calls for you to interface the entire front pieces, I just left that off because my fabric was sturdy enough that I felt like I didn't need it. I did buy some buttons from Loewe, and I wasn't sure if they were going to match, but I think they worked pretty well. I used it for both the shorts and the vest. So my pattern hacking went awry because I tried to change the neckline. The original vest has a V-neck, and I already have two versions with the V-neck, and I also have another vest that's a different pattern that is a V-neck. And I love all three of those vests, but I decided I wanted to try something a little bit different and have more of a higher crew neck because I do really like that neckline on me. So I tried to make it a crew neck, and the first time around, I tried to copy the neckline from another pattern, and I did not make a muslin because, as I said, I was trying to just go for the TNT patterns where I wouldn't have to do that. I was feeling a little bit lazy. And when I actually tried it on, the neckline was just way too high. It was basically almost like straight across like a very narrow boat neck. It was kind of strangling me. So that was not going to work. So I ended up on the fly just sort of scooping it a little bit. But what ended up happening was that instead of getting a nice rounded crew neck, it looks more like a very shallow V-neck, which is not really what I wanted. But it is a higher neck and it is different from my other versions. And so I'm just going to accept it. But I really should have not been lazy, and I should have done a muslin to try to get the shape right. And this is why I don't like to pattern hack. I just prefer it when somebody else does the work for me. But at any rate, the vest itself was very easy to sew, especially because I've done it so many times now. I'm really used to the process. I do like that these are faux welt pockets because I would never use pockets in a vest like this anyway, so they're just for decoration. The pink is very fun, but the issue that I encountered when I was trying to make it a matching set is that when I tried on the two pieces together, I just didn't like the way that it looked. I felt like because this vest is more formal looking, it's more tailored, and the shorts with the patch pockets are just way more casual. They just looked like they didn't belong together, even though they were made out of the same fabric. So that's not really a problem for me, honestly, because it is such a bright pink. If I did wear the two together, it would be extremely bold and maybe a little bit too much. So I do think I'm going to get a lot of wear out of each of these as separates, but definitely not as a set. And hopefully I've been showing you different outfits that I've styled with these. I put this with a long white skirt, which I think looks really good. There's lots of different things that I think I could pair this with in my wardrobe that would look really nice that are not the matching shorts. So I don't regret making these two pieces at all. Just didn't quite turn out the way that I had envisioned, but that's totally fine. And if you've been here for a while, then you will know that every time I make a new garment, I want to say goodbye to an old garment so that I'm not adding too many new pieces to my wardrobe. For the shorts, I had already cleared out most of my shorts, so I really don't have that many, so I didn't feel bad about adding a new pair since I've decluttered so many old ones. Now for this vest, I didn't want to get rid of any of my other vests because I really like all the ones that I have, but I am going to go ahead and say goodbye to my Chalk and Notch Wren top. I forgot to bring it in here to show you, but I will put it in a picture. I did a styling video with that top about a month ago. I was trying to find ways to style that top and also a pair of pants in my summer wardrobe. I have worn the pants since the video, but I haven't worn the top at all, and I haven't wanted to wear it. I thought in the video I kind of talked myself into keeping it, but when I went back and actually watched the video when it was over, like seeing myself on screen, I really just didn't like the way that I looked in that top. I think it's not the right style for me. And since I completed the video, it's been over a month and I haven't wanted to wear it at all. So I think the best thing for me to do is to say goodbye to that top, and because I love the fabric so much, I'm going to try to reclaim the fabric in some way, like make a pouch or do something where I can enjoy the fabric, but I don't actually have to wear it. So I'm going to go ahead and clear that blouse out of my wardrobe so that I can make room for this one. And that is all of the new items that I have made recently. Actually, that's not true. I do have a knitted garment that is finished, except for it's blocking right now and I need to sew on the buttons, but that'll have to wait for another video in the future. So please let me know in the comments, have you ever tried to make a coordinating set that ended up not really matching in the end? And what did you do about it? I always love chatting with you guys down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, I really would appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up because it signals to the algorithm to send my video out to new viewers. Thank you so much for your support, and I will see you in the next video.